Hello, everybody. This is Love from Above, but from your Sibling Spirit Guides. I'm Maureen, and this is my brother.
Hey, Maureen. Hey, everyone. This is Brian.
Hey, Brian, we're so happy to be here. If you can believe it, on this podcast, we share daily channelings we receive from star beings, ascended masters, mythical beings who really exist, and occasionally our ancestors. And today's topic is four practices to improve your days and nights. And Brian, this is stuff no one's ever heard of. I mean, come on. I think the last one we have spirals coming out of your nose.
Yeah, I mean, we get good information. You got to share it with everyone.
Yeah, well, if that's what you have to do to connect with the ascended masters, then yeah, sign me up. So we're going to talk about using the breath to meet your heavenly brethren, a nighttime prayer, and harnessing the power of nature. You want to kick us off, brother?
Yes. So the first part is from October 22nd of 2025. Break free using your breath. And I think we've talked about this, how important the breath is, but this is really good stuff. So we bequeath upon the glorious vision of our future with humanity. Rise, dear ones, rise to meet your heavenly brethren. The time is now to reach forward and connect with those who have long serviced your claims, wishes, desires, lighten your workloads, foster relationships, and birth new ideas. We bestow on you the ability to walk among us as desired equals. You no longer are shackled to the core elements of the planet upon which you ride upon. There are others who gaze upon earth with desirous intentions. We languishly admire those who can set the right pace upon elevating onto this planet's coarse and dull frequency. We find the circumstances of those on your planet to be like a rat on a wheel or a rat in a maze. How do you like that? That's, that's not, you've been freed by what entraps you, yet many continue to push forward in old ways that no longer service them or their kind. Break free from the entrapments of the old. Rise above to meet your heavenly brethren. There are many opportunities in each day to center yourself and connect with those that service your greater whole self. It is in the moment of reflection, standing in a line. It's a symbol of a bird's feather. It's the rays of sun warming the general sense of your placid being. You fail to recognize the true intent of our discussion. We search for suitable analogies. It's as if humanity has long been indwelling inside a cave that they have illuminated. This illumination in no way resembles the sun. However, through the tricks of their electronical trades, it provides sufficient light for their daily activities. It may be a short track or a long one to reach the true sun. That is up to the individual's decision and the course path that they have and their guides have decided upon. In no way mistake the artificial light that has been created with that of the luminous of the great central sun. You have been sheltered for too long. Break free. The greatest way to escape the bondage of your world is through the breath. The breath allows for the fullness of the Almighty to enter the dwelling of your inner spaces. Those that breathe deeply can no longer be contained by the elements of the matrix. Breathe deeply, dear friends. We shall be near and communicate soon. So, a lot to go over on that one, but I mean, a similar thing about, the entrapments of our current situation and the matrix and then how breath is the key to get through that. But I do like the analogy of getting out of a cave to get the true luminescence of the central sun. What are your thoughts, Maureen?
Yeah. And, I mean, it really does paint kind of descriptive picture of Earth, our planet's coarse and dull frequency. We're like a rat on the wheel, a rat on the maze, not willing, going, which you can see that, you tend to be focused on day-to-day activities, and there's so much that pulls us into that, but it's really rising above it. And if you do focus on your breath, which is, I mean, that's how I began learning meditation, is two ways, just focusing on a candle's flame and focusing on your breath. And the moment you focus on life becomes better, right? I mean, now we can statistically measure that. Brian and I both use the Heart Math app. And I don't know about you, Brian, but when I use that app, I immediately start to deepen my breath. And then, of course, my heart and my brain coherence, syncs together in a beautiful way.
Yeah, we definitely recommend that. That's the heart math or the global coherence app, either one. But I mean, that's a great tool for centering yourself, and the breath is a key piece of that.
Yeah. So, what's the biggest magic that you use with regards to the breath that you could share with our listeners, Brian?
Well, I think it's just like it's a natural tendency if you're stressed or something like that, that you start doing shallow breath. And so like anything like that, time that something like that happens to me in life, which happens, right? To just sort of take a moment and you sort of center yourself and focus on the breath and just be aware of your breath throughout the day and try and take, deeper belly breaths than the shallow breaths, because I think a consistent issue for most people, that they're not doing the deep belly breaths that are really essential.
Yeah, for me, I think the easiest way to remember that is to be out in nature. Because when you are in nature, I just think you naturally tend to flow in a more natural way in sync with our planet, which is, the more deeper breaths. Do you find that too when you go out into nature?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, I think a good way to connect and do that exactly.
Yeah, so that's a perfect segue into our next one, which is harnessing the power of nature. I mean, gosh, we know nature has so much power. And this came to through us on May 28th of 2024. And they said, "Hello, we bring forth news of the most startling revelation. We come forth with the ushering of the rapid movement that is taking place not only on your tiny planet, but throughout the galactic confederation. This is a time to harvest, a time to bring in the bounty that has been sown, for now is the reaping. The sowing took place a millennium ago as humans were created to go forth and procreate. Be wise and steady in carrying the light of the one creator. Now, as the cycle nears its completion, we applaud the full cycle of rapid revolutions that have brought us to this point. These days are times to reflect upon the path that has brought you to this point. We watch with endearment as you struggle and grow like a weed that pushes through rocky soil. There is more to contemplate on this morrow, the energies which you receive." And then I interrupted the channeling because at the time of May 28th, 24, I was actually on a safari, and the energy of the safari just totally drained me. And I thought it was because I was dehydrated. And they were telling me, no, that's not the case. That there aren't many places where there's abundant wildlife mixed with abundant nature. And combined, that was a super powerful energetic force. And they were advising me that I can harness this energy, not to just lay it dormant, to take it with me. So I asked, well, how the heck do I do that? And they said, first, permission must be asked, because this is the realm of the animals which you have sought to engage in their natural habitat. Permission must be requested to take a sliver of their energetic forces and align it with your own. It is a braiding and a weaving, and they shall benefit from your unique signature as well. So, Brian, isn't that, first of all, it makes total sense, but I've never thought about that before, and it's fascinating, right?
Yeah, I mean, the interesting part, I never thought of, maybe I read this somewhere, but I mean, yeah, asking permission. I do recall that, like, for somewhere, it's like people that were taking stuff or hunting or something. And back in the day, they would like maybe the Indians or something would ask from permission, and they were aligned with nature and things like that. But I mean, I think of that, just anywhere. Maybe if you're out in nature to ask permission for the energy. I don't know if it'll be as great as the energy you were facing it in the safari, but I'm sure it still holds true anywhere, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, and my favorite is, oh my gosh, people, one of my all-time favorite movies is Unmistaken Child, about the search for a reincarnated llama. And the monk who was doing the search, he was such a gentle soul. And he was in Nepal and he picked a flower, a wildflower, and he had stuck it behind his ear and he told the camera, "Oh, but first I asked permission from the flower if I could pick it." Which I thought, "Oh, that is so beautiful." Like just so beautiful. I love that before he asked the flower if he could pick it, he
Uh,
asked. So, yeah, I mean, that is a natural practice that, we should take forward. And I'm sure not many people go on safari, but you probably go on a walk in your woods or and there's animals there. And, it's harnessing that energy because I think that's why I love to go into nature so much. There is so much energy there, So it's really important for me. And I know you love it as well, brother.
yeah, yes, that's a good thing that for me to practice, I'll start doing as well. So thanks for that.
So the next one is something I'll let you go into, Brian, but I know this is something that we both do every night.
Right. So this one is from May 8th of 2024, a nighttime prayer. Dearest one, we come forth with the love and light of the one who shares love with all, regardless of whether they seek this love or not. We ask that you imagine that you possess winged feet like Hermes, for indeed all can be accomplished with the delightful sensation of flitting from one scene to the next. You're beginning to realize the boundaries of the world you live in. Seeing those who dwell above and below helps to crack the known reality, which is assumed by most to be concrete and absolute. However, this reality you experience is but one of many. To jump ship, as it were, is easier said than done. You could travel like Alice through a wormhole and enter a more charming or frightful reality depending upon your individual perspective. For now, we wish to discuss the human heart. For the reality in which you exist is but evidently smoke and mirrors. The same is true for the body, which contains the divine spark, the vessel for the one's creator's loving, resonant touch. The body can easily be morphed and changed as any human has experienced during their long or short lifetime. The aging process which you experience is a result of the harsh environmental conditions on the planet and the group mentality, which expects a certain response for each corresponding age group. These can easily be denied with the correct mindset. For now, we return to the condition of the nighttime retiring mode, which is effective to recharge and sustain the bodily forces. We ask that you repeat after us. I ask that only the highest vibrations enter my sleeping space, for while I shall be gone to other worlds, my bodily form shall be grounded and protected. I ask to see worlds beyond which I can know or imagine, to have the greater truth of the one creator revealed to me at the deepest level of my soul. This is my truest wish for this night and every night as I go forward in time, whether in this embodiment or another. I'm grateful for all those who attend me as I enter this sleeping mode. So that what at the last part I just mentioned is that prayer that Maureen and I say every night. But yeah, there's sorry, I meant to stop halfway through. There's a lot to can cover. What's your biggest takeaway from this, Maureen?
Well, I love this prayer that we channeled. It's just so beautiful, and it's something that I say every night, and I know you do as well. And it's funny. So how long is it ago? May 8th. So it's more than a year. I have not memorized this yet. And I still need to look at it every day. I don't
Yeah,
know
same
about
here.
you.
I mean, it flows pretty good, but I don't have it memorized either. It's not very conducive to
Yeah,
memorization.
but there's some morning prayers that we've included in previous podcasts that have come to us, and we say those. There's a beautiful one. Our grandparents, I think we recorded, more than a year ago. And that I have memorized, but this one I don't. I mean, I just love it. I ask to see worlds beyond which I can know or imagine, to have the greater truths of the one creator revealed to me at the deepest level of my soul. This is my truest wish for this night and every night as I go forward in time, whether in this embodiment or another. Yeah, I just love this prayer. It's very comforting for me. And I know you said one time you forgot to say your prayer, and what happened when you forgot to say the prayer?
Oh, yeah, something bad. I don't know what we're going to do, but yeah. But the other part that was the beginning was cool, like the winged feet of Hermes and the delightful sensation of, floating from one scene to another. And it talked about, jumping ship to a different, I mean, that's what I think we've talked about this, but there's that, I think we did an episode, the quantum leaps or whatever it's called. There's a book,
Right.
so jumping from one parallel to different parallel reality and how that's possible. Or as it also mentions, a negative reality. And then the other thing is, I think this is so true. And I've seen it firsthand is sort of the aging process is totally a mindset. And so if you're
Yeah.
around people that are like, you know, I don't know, you tend to be around the same like group that you have friends or wherever. If you're staying in where I think I've seen people going into more of a, you know, assisted living place, let's say it affects their mindset when it affects their aging. You know what I mean? They just being in a
Yeah,
facility like
we've
that.
experienced this with a close level, and it was really surprising.
Exactly.
So, yeah, it really is surprising. So yeah, and you can see this. Our sister recently went to a class reunion, but like if you go to a class reunion, if you're 40, there's why different, what 40 can look like and feel like, and you know what I mean? That doesn't have to involve surgery or, it's just so. But I think for me, the biggest takeaway, so, I am a seer. I see, I hear, feel, and receive knowings, you know, but that's relegated to the nighttime realm. And, I really should become more awake in the daytime. And like they say that since I am able to see, then I should know that this reality that we can create whatever we want. And so since I can see past this reality during the night, I mean, I should really be able to, like they said, be Alice in Wonderland, go wherever the heck I want, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so thanks for putting this one together. Anything else you want to say about this one?
No, I mean, I think there's a lot of good info in here, but I mean, I would, if this resonates with you, I would say this prayer before you go to bed. I think it's a great addition, a great practice to And again, it's you get asking for help from those above, and so I think that's just a good practice that we've mentioned. So yeah, do you want to do the closing?
Yeah, this is the spirals to connect with heavenly beings from the tip of your nose. Brian, I'm going to ask you, you say you're never surprised on this podcast. Does this one surprise you?
Yeah, it is something new, that's for sure.
I relay it, but here we go. This is from May 25th, 2025. It says, "Hello, we are the brethren of holy light." Which I will just stop right here. We've got like the Brethren of Divine Holy Light. I don't know if it's the same thing, but there's a lot. We've got a bunch of Brethrens of Holy Lights. But anyway, it says we wish to urge you to consider relocating in a spiral of loving relationships. This is easily done. We shall assist you by placing your mind's eye, so they're taking my third eye, and putting it on the center of my nose. Watch as we revolve around you. It's like balancing levels of spinning dishes that can never come crashing down. Only you can marvel at the wondrous feats before you. Then they said, please explain to your brother what you're presently envisioning. And I said, I'm seeing spirals. One spiral might be the ascended masters, one might be the archangels, one might be my soul group, one might be my familial ancestors. They're all spinning around me. And then I said, once I enact this, does this stay moving? And they said, we shall alert you when the process needs to be reactivated. For now, enjoy the bountiful pleasures by surrounding oneself with the loving natures of higher ascended masters and other divine beings. Okay, Brian, I find that one surprising. I just have to tell you. But yes, it felt absolutely delightful to have all of these spirals of heavenly beings going around me. I mean, truly delightful, and I'm
So
grateful.
so it was just like what was like sort of explain what you saw. It was like just the image of different people like spiraling around your body. Is that what it looks like?
Well, it was based off the tip of my nose, but do you remember the game, the thing called a spirograph when we were a kid, where you
Yeah.
could
Yeah.
Okay, so it was like that. So it was sacred geometry, and where you might have one loop that was the ascended masters, one loop that is fairies, one loop that is the unicorns, one loop. So they're all, it's like that spirograph where this all coming together like in a beautiful sacred geometry configuration. And, I mean, it felt really, really good, but it is pretty unusual. And again, Brian says, you'll never know what you're going to get on this podcast. This is one. So anyway, if you're up for it, when you're in meditation, try this, see a spiral of your soul group, see a spiral of your family right now, a spiral of whatever you're connected to, unicorns, fairies, Hindus, gods and goddesses, and whatever, resonates with the true nature of your being.
Yeah, I think that's a great tool. I'm gonna have to try that too. So looking forward to that.
Okay, well, thank you everybody for listening. We remind you again, we've got volume one of our book, which is from the same title of this podcast, available on ebooks and Kindles and Nooks and on Amazon and hard copy. So if you want to see the full range of channelings as opposed to the ones we pick out for our podcast, take a look at it.
Yeah, it's out there, and so look if it resonates with you, check out the book, and there'll be more coming, right, Maureen?
Yeah, we're working on volume two right now. So thank you all for listening. Have a great week, and we'll talk to you next week.
Bye, everyone.